Hello, everyone. Before we get on with the story, I need to let y'all know about this case. But I need to read the Bible thing also. I need to quit changing when I'm trying to scroll. Hello, everyone. In Matthew 18, verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Shannah McAlpine, just 2 years old, she was murdered by the mother's boyfriend while the mother watched. And there has been other cases. There's been other problems that I just now found out also that the mother and the boyfriend had other children in the home as well. I'm going to get over here to comment part. Okay, bear with me for a few seconds, please. She was 2 years old, and the guy was upset because of the mother of the little girl coming outside with her shoes on the wrong feet. We all know that kids 2 years old or about to be two would do that. They have to learn. That is a part of the thing. It's learning. At 2 years old, they do that kind of thing. Heck, sometimes 3 and 4 year old, you have to remind your kids. This is ridiculous. She lost her life because of the because of this. It's senseless because it's really a violent man, the mother's boyfriend who done this. Hold on, I gotta check the door. The table three what's my fault is it? Alright. Welcome to the channel. Okay, I wanna start by showing I'm gonna put it where you should still be able to hear me, but I'm gonna make it more to the page. You will see where I'll show where the child right here. I'm not paying for subscription, but I saw this at the top line right here. At least 3 of the 4 children who live with their mother and Jaden Nunez, age 25, in Temple, were physically abused, a Child Protective Service report said. I wonder how long in advance that they had known this before the child died. Also, here's where we will start off, letting you know what happened. This is the abuser, the murderer, mugshot of Jaden Nunez of Bell County Jail. Ashley McAlpine, 29, that's the mother, and Jaden Nunez, 27, were a couple from Bell County, Texas, along with Ashley's 2-year-old daughter, Shannah McAlpine. The couple lived together in a house on the 800 block of South 11th Street in Temple, Texas. On the afternoon of September 21st, 2019, the family was getting ready to go shopping for Shannah's birthday party, which was to take place on the 24th. As they were about to leave the house, Nunez noticed that Shannah had accidentally worn her shoes on the wrong feet. Enraged by the girl's action, Nunez lifted her in the air and fiercely struck her in the face and stomach. Having struck the girl a total of 3 times, he dropped her back to the ground. Ashley, who had just witnessed the entire scene unfold before he picked the toddler up, be, before her picked the toddler up and attempted to transfer her to her bed. However, Nunez followed them, and as soon as Ashley placed her in her bed, he immediately began choking Shannah until her face started to turn blue. After releasing her, the girl reportedly gasped for air before curling up into a fetal position. She remained in that way until she fell asleep. At around 2 a.m. that night, the girl suddenly woke up and began complaining about having intense stomach pains and difficulty breathing. According to Ashley, her stomach was swollen and hot, while the rest of her body felt cold to the touch. In an attempt to stabilize her daughter's body temperature, Ashley put her in the shower. However, when she realized that Shannah was about to faint, she alerted the local emergency services. That little girl reminds me so much of how summer looks, beautiful like summer wells. This is Shannah. Beautiful little girl did not deserve that. By the Hewitt Army Funeral Home. A few moments later, first responders arrived on site and found little Shannah unresponsive. Her body was reportedly covered in bruises and she was barely clinging to life. She was pronounced dead at 3:31 a.m. Her official cause of death was blunt force trauma to the abdomen. Jaden Nunez was arrested the following day and charged with capital murder of a child under 10. In October 2021, he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ashley McAlpine was also arrested in December of 2020. Investigators alleged that she witnessed Nunez physically abuse the child and failed to seek medical attention and failed to report the incidents until several hours later. She was charged with felony first degree injury to a child with the intent to cause serious bodily harm. She had pleaded not guilty and is being held on a 500,000 bond. That was back then, but it's changed since then. Okay, there she is. There's the mother who saw whatever happened and all that. Did nothing. I can't help but wonder if he abused her as well. You know, when he abused the children. Mom was sentenced for allowing boyfriend to fatally beat toddler who put shoes on the wrong feet. And this in Temple, Texas, the same people. 31-year-old woman was sentenced to 14 years in prison for failing to stop her boyfriend from fatally beating her 2-year-old daughter just days before the girl's birthday. Bell County court records show Ashley Alpine was found guilty June the 7th of injury of a child. Oh boy. Really gets me, I'm sorry. With intent to cause severe bodily injury and was later sentenced to 16 years in prison. She received 903 days of time served. According to Killeen Daily Herald on September 22nd, 2019, Temple police responded to a home on the 800 block of South 11th Street and found Shannah McAlpine not breathing. Her body was reportedly covered in bruises, and she later died from her injuries. Court documents cited by the Killeen Daily Herald report on the day the police came. McAlpine's boyfriend, Jaden Nunez, Shannah, and her brother were about to go to a store to purchase items for Shannah's upcoming birthday party, but Shannah's shoes were on the wrong feet. Nunez reportedly hit Shannah in the head, then punched her several times. McAlpine reportedly took Shannah to another room to lie down, but Nunez walked in and choked the child for several minutes. Hours later, McAlpine heard Shannah crying and tried to put her in a shower. Shannah, however, could not stand up on her own. McAlpine called police at 2:49 a.m. and Shannah was pronounced dead less than 45 minutes later at 3:31 a.m. Shannah died from blunt force trauma to the abdomen. Police arrested Nunez on September 24, 2019, on suspicion of murder. The Killeen Daily Herald reports a jury convicted him of capital murder in October 2021, and he was sentenced to life without parole. And there, yeah, only 16 years. Only 16 years. Close that page out. Try to, this is where she was the editor's note. This is the culprits right here. Mother gets 16 years of prison for not stopping the meetings. But the thing about it is, as I showed right away, that there were other kids in the home where they said three of the four children had been beaten. How did that? And that CPS said that three of the four children had been beaten, and I don't even know if they included the fourth child also. Don't know if that excludes her because of not wanting to press charges until they found out. On March 8th, McAlpine entered a guilty plea to a first-degree felony charge of injury to a child. A series of four sentencing hearings were held in May and June, during which six people testified. Finally, at the fourth hearing on June 7th, Judge Wade Faulkner found McAlpine guilty and sentenced her to 16 years in prison with a credit for over 900 days she already had served in the Bell County Jail. So she's not getting the full 16 years since she already paid some of it. I would still add it, the whole 16 years. I would not exclude time served, man. Inez was sentenced to life in prison for capital murder after a 3-day trial in 2021. Police said that Ashley Alpine knew her children were being beaten by Nunez, but said she would not stop him, according to Child Protective Services report. So it makes you wonder how long CPS knew about this and did nothing. September 22nd, 2019, Temple police were dispatched to a medical emergency call in the 800 block of South 11th Street. When they got there, the 2-year-old was found covered in bruises and not breathing. Investigators for the Criminal Investigations Unit began an investigation into the girl's death because the cause wasn't known. An investigation revealed that Nunez beat and choked the child. The autopsy report said Shannah McAlpine died of blunt force trauma to her stomach, according to an arrest affidavit. Violence that led to Shannah's death began over shoes on the wrong feet. An investigator with Texas Department of Family and Protective Services said in his report that was obtained by FME News Service. The family was getting ready to go to the store to get things for a birthday party for Shannah and her brother, according to the document. The girl had her shoes on the wrong feet, and Nunez had hit her on her face also, see, and says she fell. And Nunez grabbed her and held her up in the air before he punched her 3 times in her stomach and dropped her to the floor. It's, that's not the floor. They were outside. That's the ground. Ashley McAlpine told investigators. Police said that Ashley McAlpine took Shannah from the room and put her in on a bed, but Nunez came in and reportedly choked Shannah with both hands. She turned blue, but Nunez kept choking her for a couple of minutes, her mother said. McAlpine said she yelled and tried to pull him off her daughter, but she couldn't. When he finally quit choking her, Shannah gasped for breath and curled into a a fetal position, her mother said. At about 2 a.m., McAlpine said she woke up and Shannah was crying. She tried to get her to eat and drink something. Then she saw that Shannah's stomach was swollen and hot, but the rest of her body was cold. She put Shannah in the shower to try to warm her up, but Shannah could not stand on her own and was not breathing right. Soon after that, when she called 911 at about 2:49 a.m., Shannah was pronounced dead at 3:31 a.m. And here's the culprit right there. There he is right there. They found 27-year-old J.D. Nunez guilty on the charge of capital murder of a child under 10 in the 2019 death of his girlfriend's daughter. I wonder where the daddy is in all this. You know, where the birth daddy. Following a trial that lasted 3 days, the Killeen Daily Herald reported a judge in the 426th Judicial District Court then sentenced Nunez to life without possibility of parole. Hot dang! He does not have a possibility of parole. The toller's mother, Ashley Marie McAlpine in Temple, was charged with felony first-degree injury to a child with the intent to cause serious bodily injury. She pleaded not guilty at that time. According to the report, officers for the Temple Police Department and emergency medical services personnel were dispatched to a home located in the 800 block of South 11th Street at approximately 2:50 a.m. on September 22, 2019, after receiving a call about an unresponsive child. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders found Shannah not breathing. The child was reportedly covered in bruises. Criminal Investigations Unit opened an investigation and reportedly learned that the incident began when Nunez became upset with a child over her shoes. According to a report from the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services obtained by the Killeen Daily Herald, Ashley McAlpine told investigators that the family was preparing to go to the store to purchase items in preparation for Shannah's birthday party when Nunez lashed out at the little girl. The little girl had her shoes on the wrong feet, and Nunez then hit her in her face. The newspaper reported she fell, and Nunez grabbed her and held her up in the air before he punched her 3 times in her stomach and then dropped her to the floor. Ashley McAlpine reportedly told investigators that after Nunez struck the child, she brought Shannah out of the room and put her in bed. Nunez allegedly followed them, however, and reportedly choked Shannah with both hands until she turned blue. Ashley McAlpine said she yelled and attempted to get Nunez off of Shannah, but couldn't. Said the choking went on for a couple of minutes. Now, a couple of minutes. Imagine this child's devastation, the horror. According to the Killeen Daily Herald, when Nunez finally relented, Shannah reportedly gasped for air before curling up into the fetal position. Shannah reportedly woke up crying at approximately 2 a.m. that day. The mother told police the girl complained of stomach pain and was not breathing right. Per an affidavit obtained by Waco area CBS affiliate KWTX TV. Ashley reportedly said Shannah's stomach was swollen and hot, while the rest of her body felt cold to the touch. She put the girl in the shower but called 911 after seeing that Shannah couldn't stand on her own. The child was pronounced dead at 3:31 a.m., the report said. The autopsy determined that the child's death was homicide caused by blunt force trauma to the abdomen. The nurse was arrested 2 days later. There's the mother. Ashley McAlpine is currently being held in Bell County Jail on a $500,000 bond. She is scheduled to appear for a pretrial hearing on October 29th, which she did. Okay, here is now the case information that from Bell County Odyssey portal. The state of Texas versus McAlpine, Ashley McCree. There's the case number, the file date. Court party is the state of Texas. Their attorneys named right there. Her attorneys that was court appointed. Here's the charge. Injury, child, elderly, disabled with intent, SBI mental. First degree felony. Status 9/21/2020. Disposition events was that they found her guilty of an injury, child, elderly disabled with intent SBI mental. Good to see you. Thank you so for subscribing. I appreciate it. And here's the disposition right here. With this was done June the 7th, 2023. A judicial officer Stephen J. Dusky, and she is convicted of the injury child elderly disabled with intent SBI mental. And here is the sentence: prison, injury child elderly disabled with intent mental, prison. All she got was 16 years, the mother. And as I had showed also, there were 3 other kids in the home also. And they said 3 of the 4 that they know of have been physically abused. And I'm wondering where the father is, because this is the mother's boyfriend, but where is the father of the children? He's not the father of the children. Events and hearings. There's in December 16, 2020, original cases filed by indictment for information. Then there's the 18th docket, the magistrate notification, sealed in a brown envelope. Finding of indigent ineligibility. Magistrate warning. Wow, there was a warning. Financial questionnaire. Order of attorney appointment for Zachary Boyd. Conditions of bond signed by Judge Dusky. There's a docket which was for a PS copy of indictment bond for $30,000 by attorney Michael Magana. And here it is, March 3rd, 2021, issued arraignment letter. Then the issued pretrial letter here. Then the docket waiver of arraignment service and reading of the indictment in cause. Returned precept to serve copy of indictment on March 9th, 21. Then the treatment plan sealed in a brown envelope on March 30th. April 27th of 2021, issued a pretrial letter. Then in May 21, PT pretrial. And then June 2nd, issued pretrial letter. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're in here. I appreciate you doing this, coming in and subbing to me. But this little girl, she's about to be 2 years old. She's going to have a birthday party, and the mother's boyfriend beat her so severely, and it killed her. Got yeah, that's a spam call, so it ended right away. Then there's a motion on June 29th, state's motion for protective order signed by Judge Dusky. Then the 29th also, protective order signed by Judge Dusky. And then a copy request, attorney request, John Galligan. Then on July 1st, 2021, sealed exhibit A signed by Judge Dusky. So that's the proof behind. Pretrial hearing was done on the 9th at 8:45 a.m. Comment, I'm not sure what the WA means, but there. Okay, I appreciate that. Then the pre-trial hearing, all right here, the hearing time. The cancel request reason was it was reset. Okay, that's why they had 2 different pre-trial things put there. Okay, now I understand that. And now there's another one that was reset. Oh my gosh, pre-trial right there hearing was reset and reset again to the 24th. Sorry, then again to September 10th, 2021. Then it's reset again, October 2021. Then it reset again, January 2022. Then it reset again, to March on March 25th, 2022. In May 2022, it's like cancel reason reset again, which I'll hear it on September 23rd, 2022. Oh, cancel reason, it says other, it don't say reset this time. And discovery, defendant's request for discovery and for notice under applicable statutes. And then November 10th, 2022, discovery e-file, motion for discovery transcripts of previous trials involving defendant and co-defendant. Ah, so it's got the daddy on it also. I mean, not the daddy, but the mama's boyfriend. Sorry. The judicial officer, the counsel reason is granted. Okay, docket entry. State indicted that plea offer has been an open plea. Then the docket entry in November 15th, 2022, motion to compel discovery. Then void D rest on written motion, leaves decision to discretion of court, ruling state will provide transcripts to D in cases number State versus Nunez, and then the James Allen McAlpine. Wow. So I'm wondering if the dad is James Allen McAlpine. Motion to reduce bond. She don't need bond. Okay, order on motion to reduce bond. Denied. Heck yeah, denied. Order setting hearing set for January of this year at 8:30, signed by Judge Dusky. And a motion to reduce bond, counsel reason other. Motion to reduce bond, then void pro offers, S argues, motion denied. Oh, good, good. Then there was a on March 3rd, 2023, where a written plea agreement, compliance statement, and waivers. The plea is other, and that was the 8th. And here's the plea: waive jury confrontation and right to remain silent. Plea accepted, finding withheld, PSR ordered, reset for sentencing. Then there's the pre-sentence investigation, the application for subpoena, clerk's copy to Dr. Emily Ogden, clerk's copy to Carissa Putter Hussain, subpoena to Melissa Shagwell, application for subpoena, clerk's copy to Allison Sutherland, clerk's copy to Justine Mirabelle. What I'm wondering in all this, with all them other people that's testifying about this case and stuff, why didn't they call? Why did they not call and report it? Did they serve the subpoenas to these certain people right here that is said? Then in May of 2023, the council reason it's held. Boy, docket entry sentencing. Witnesses are in, let's see, Ruch rule invoked. Witnesses in courtroom sworn, admonished, and excused. Dr. Emily Ogden called, sworn, testified. Carissa Putner called, sworn, testified, and admitted. Melissa Shagwell called, sworn, testified, and admitted, but upon further consideration, defense objections to S-28 and S-29 sustained. Recess adjourned and direct exam continue on Friday. That was May the 19th, 2023. So it just continued on with all this, and this was basically the sentencing that was trying to determine what to do. Okay. Then Tyrant McGregor recalled during testimony, D objects that M. Chagwo, I don't know how to pronounce that, Shago, was in the courtroom is subject to the rule. S&D argued. Court finds the witness had already testified and based on her testimony is the maternal grandmother of the victim in this case and a joint managing conservator of a child sibling of the deceased victim in this case. Oh, that the child sibling is a close relative of a deceased victim, and that when W is a guardian of the child sibling of a deceased victim. Court further finds that D did not establish that the witness's potential future testimony would be materially affected if the witness hears other testimony at the trial. W allowed to remain in courtroom. Joe Powell called, sworn, testified, all that. No objection disc swapped out, and these provided disc of the entire body cam is renamed S41 and admitted S recess for the day. So it goes on and continues on like that. Like we said, that this guy right here, this lady right here, this is the mother right here. Is sentenced to 16 years. She stood around while he done that. She stood around while he punched her, knocked her to the ground, then kept beating her in the abdomen, and then dropped her to the floor. Then when she grabbed her and took her to the bedroom, he goes in there and strangles her. And still, she does nothing yet. She said she yelled and attempted to get her hands off of Shannah. But what about calling authorities? What about calling 911? How about that? Don't try to say you did something when you did nothing to really protect the child. My goodness. For goodness sakes. I hope when you get out of jail, you will not have a right to any of your kids. I hope that you have no rights to your children, the other three. And this is Jaden Nunez. He's sentenced to spend the rest of his life behind bars after he was convicted in the 2019 murder of a 2-year-old girl who was beaten to death because she put her shoes on the wrong feet. At 2 years old, a lot of kids do that. That is just life. My God. Please keep these other children and all the other people affected by this in your prayers and in your thoughts. The mother was Ashley Marie McAlpine of Temple. And so I think that man that was listed in one of these sentencing on the register was actually the father. Here's the culprit right here. There he is right there. So I wanted to bring this to light for everyone, and I hope that y'all will keep this family in your thoughts and prayers. I don't think I'll be praying for the mother because the mother never called for help for the children. And as I showed earlier, CPS, you said that there were 3 out of the 4 that had been abused that they know of. And if they knew that the others had been abused, I wondered if they knew of this sooner or found out after they got the little girl. And all these other people that were witnesses and everything, where were they? They wasn't calling the police and reporting it or anything, I don't think. I would love to read the court reports and find out what took place. This little girl died senselessly, and her picture reminds me so much of little Summer Wells. I think I done closed the picture of where she was in here. I'll scroll up and down to see if I see it. But she was a beautiful little girl. Breaks your heart. She reminds me of reminds me of little Summer Wells in some ways. The way she looks. I'll try to see if I could get her picture showing again. You know what I'm saying? If y'all would like me to show that picture again, y'all can scroll back and you'll be able to go back and see her picture. Tell me what your thoughts are. Yes, too many people have been failed. I'm a product of that as well because they went ahead and when back when I was a kid, and I do have a book out there. Um, back when I was a kid, I thought when a car drove by and backfired, it reminded me of gunshots when your daddy used to shoot at me. And so they said that I would just jet out down the road, just take off. And I remember the police bringing me to dad and saying, "Well, we heard that um, you have been beating her and everything, and so that's why it took place." I said, "No, she fell under blackberry bushes." And the cop looked at me and said, "I better never hear this ever again, or we'll arrest you." So, what do you do when you go and you tell the police and the police do nothing and they call you a liar? What do you really do? There are too many people that are not believed. Too many kids are not believed. But I'm glad that I did not suffer the fate that she had. May her soul rest in peace. So thank you so much for coming and being here. But I think she needed more than just 16 years. Well, the link's on my profile page. I do have it at my YouTube channel. The profile page, I do have. You'll be able to click it and see it. It's the one that called Shattered Innocence. That Amazon, Darlene J. Clark, Shattered Innocence. But I do have that on my profile. And if anybody ever needs to talk, try to look for me. I'm under this name. But thank you so much for coming and listening. You can look me up at Facebook under my Darlene J. Clark, and I'll be glad to add you and talk with you if there's any questions or anything, any concerns. And I'll see you in another room sometime, okay? And thank you so much. God bless y'all.